putting the work for the new year. This is our second episode this year, right?
Yep.
So hope to keep up this momentum going, moving forward. And as we had started last year with this Japanese haiku, we wanted to continue that today. So here we go. In silent midnight, our old scarecrow topples down. Weird, hollow echo. Boncho.
The hell? Let me see that.
Dude.
Where is it?
It's the last one of the first page.
In silent midnight, our old scarecrow topples down. Weird, hollow echo. I don't know, it sounds like something like in your kitchen that falls over in the middle of the night and you hear it and you freak out. You think someone's like robbing your house. That's what it reminds me of.
It sounds about right. I don't think that there's any philosophy behind this. I think it's just something that happened. It caught his attention, so he wrote it down. But it's still pretty cool. I got the vision. I was able to imagine, wherever they are in Japan, imagine them being there at night and, getting freaked out by their own scarecrow. I just hope they weren't samurais, because if they were, it'd be kind of embarrassing.
It may be the same concept as getting like freaked out by your refrigerator rumbling.
Yeah. So anyway, how are you guys this week? How are you, Greg?
Let us know in the comments what everyone's up to, what everyone's doing.
How are you?
I'm doing all right, actually. I thought I was thinking something today when I was driving over here. I thought I should be like a whole lot more tired, and I wasn't, and I was thinking why, and I kept when I was at the restaurant this week, I was putting in a lot of work, and I kept telling everyone, like, I don't expect anyone to do anything, like any hard work here if no one cares. I told everyone that so that they know that I'm not relying on them. And the reason I did that is because everyone keeps saying the same words. They're like, "Oh, I don't do anything because no one else does," or no one does anything. They keep saying that, and so I said, "Okay, I'll do everything that these people are saying no one does." So that when it comes down to the time when someone says it, after I have already done it myself, I'll say, no, it's not that no one does it. It's that you don't do it either.
That you don't do it.
Yeah. Because then at that point, it's not going to be, they can't use that excuse at me. Because if I've already done it, and I keep doing it, then they're the ones that do it. And at that point, they got nothing else but to do it. And if they don't, then bye.
Well, you're still managing, right?
Yeah, but I've actually been pretty much given control of the restaurant. So, like, I don't have to make any decisions when I'm not there. But when I'm there, I can do whatever I want. So I've gotten full control of, like, the website. I can do my own advertising. We have, like, a TV up in the bar. I've already started specials and stuff, advertising for, like, Super Bowl, things down the road that the restaurant itself hasn't even started yet. Like, they have the concept and they're ready to push it. They just haven't done anything.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm going to throw everything out now. You tell me that you're going to run something in 3 months from now, I'm going to put it up right now. Like,
yeah, I mean, Super Bowl. When is Super Bowl? Isn't that
it's in 3 weeks? It's 2 weeks now, I guess.
It's the first?
February 2nd.
Oh, it's the 2nd. That's right.
So it's not far, and if we're not advertising like outside, then we're having to self-advertise in the restaurant, which means we need more time for advertisement because we're relying on the rotation of our guests to have come in to see it.
You can do banners, no? Can you do banners? Do they give you
like to put outside?
Yeah, like allowance for that?
No, because they don't want. Well, yes and no, because I would have to go out of my way to do all of that. Like, I don't have time during the shifts, so like I could always do that. It's
just not convenient.
Yeah.
Well, you don't. You're limited on time because you're like part time.
I mean,
managing.
they won't pay me for the time either. Like, they won't. Like, I'm in the building. If I'm not in the building, I'm not working. So, yeah. It's just, I take it among myself. If I can't grow it myself, then it's not going to grow. So, it's great. I'll do what I want. And
Bro, have you ever thought about just opening your own restaurant?
I thought about it, but it won't really. It would take too much time because I don't know the back end of the restaurant. I know the front end. So like if someone else wants to open up a restaurant, I can work with them and do it. Yeah, but
One, two, three. Looks good. Yeah. Although
my bad. I pulled the microphones out. There we go.
Could we? Do you think it's still working?
Yeah,
Want to check?
No, it's fine. It's activating in the same.
Okay. So you were saying, if you were to find someone who you can partner up with to open up a restaurant, you do it.
Yeah.
So what's in the what do you consider the back end of a restaurant? Because
I don't really paying
know.
the bills and like I mean it's not necessarily hard, but I
like
don't know
accounting.
I don't know bookkeeping concepts.
Oh, but you can get like an accountant.
Yeah, but you'd still have to be able to do that ahead of time. Plus, you'd have to have money to pay. Like accountants, they get paid pretty well. You have to have enough money to do that. And
Well, I mean, you know having an investor who, or even an accountant who would want to be part of a business but not have to worry about the operation side of it.
yeah,
You know,
like there's a lot of like small restaurants, like almost just like the size of like a little outlet building. So you got like maybe 15 tables and a small bar top.
Mm-hmm.
Like a small restaurant like that like just can keep busy. You could totally run that as long as you get good employees. So like you have bad employees, they gotta go, and that's the issue. Like,
well, they're out there.
I've had. Well, no, it's not that you can't find good employees. It's that I've not been able to have that total control.
Okay, I guess what I'm asking you is that would that be something that you would want to do, or does that even interest you, or you don't want to have that kind of responsibility?
Oh, I'm fine with that, but at the same time, I kind of want to get away from that so that I can have the nights off. Because if you have a restaurant, you work at night, unless you're a breakfast place.
Yeah, but you work yourself to death for about 3-5 years, and then the restaurant is self-sufficient. You don't have to worry about it. You own the restaurant. Then when after those 5 years, you don't have to rely on anyone or anything.
You hire someone else, and that's what they did, because the owners of the restaurant worked the first store, and then they opened up a second one.
Yeah, that's how it's done, and then you have the freedom that we all seek here. Yeah. Anyway, that's just something for you to think about. I think it would be cool, man.
Yeah, and I don't know if I'm there yet, because a lot of people, when they open restaurants, they want to have more knowledge about food combinations and drink pairings and things like that. And I don't really have that yet, but I actually wanted to talk to you about doing that.
We know people.
Like, I don't necessarily enjoy like drinking and stuff, but I would like to go to like a winery and do the wine tasting, just so that I can understand.
So you understand how to pair this wine with that wine or with that food.
Yeah, talk to someone, because if I don't like the foods, I can't combine them and be like, oh, this is good. Dude. But I can get the information from other people and be able to do that. So like, but I can also go in and say, hey, these are the foods that I like. What can I compare this with? and that would make it so I can make combinations that are good.
Yeah.
But I'm just going in there. I like cheeseburgers. This beer tastes good. Boom, that's a combo. Like, sure, but does it actually go together in the sense?
Yeah, yeah. Why don't we try to get someone on here? That's a project we can work on this year.
Do you
Maybe
like a tasting or
yeah, we could just bring a bunch of different wines, and maybe we get someone who's educated on the subject, and we can do that here. Maybe
Yeah.
that'd be kind of cool to share with everybody else. You know?
Yeah.
Or we could do like a vlog.
Yeah, something like that.
We can go to Napa or something.
Because like there's even there's a distillery down in Santa Ana, and it's just a distillery / like tasting room. It's not like a
wine
bar.
or like brewery.
No, it's I want to say it. I don't think it's whiskey. I think it was gin.
Gin?
It's right off the freeway, off the 5 and 5 and 17.
Mm-hmm.
It's like behind. There's like a truck place there. It's like right next to that. But it's called like the Night Owl or something, and you just go in
Night
there.
Owl?
Yeah, I think it's like $30, and you get to taste all their different whatever it is that they make, gin or whiskey or whatever it is. They have a bunch of different things. They'll take you through. They'll show you how they make it. They'll sit down. You'll do tastings and try all their stuff out. So you'll see how they make it and what they're making it for.
Yeah, we can probably do something like that. Maybe do a little vlog or, get somebody from there to come here and do the podcast. That'd be cool to do this year. Yeah, man.
But like, I went in having pretty much no bar knowledge. Like when I ever made drinks, it was just flavors I liked. So if I liked a specific vodka, I'd get that. And then I like orange juice and I like this flavor of juice, and I just mixed it all together. And I was like, cool. But now I'm learning like why certain things are in the drinks and how to enhance it even more. Like I made the other day, we smoke our meat with hickory wood. So I went with a hammer and I chiseled off some hickory wood and I put it on a stainless steel and I lit it on fire. And I made an old fashioned in a cup, and then I took the glass I was gonna put the old fashioned in and put it over the burning hickory wood to put out the flame, and all the smoke went on the glass. And then I put the ice cube in, I poured the old fashioned in, and then just drank it. So it still had the smoke aromas. So when you took the smell, you got the smokiness, and then you drank it. And it almost added like a huge like blast of cinnamon. It was so interesting to me, and it didn't necessarily taste the same as just like a regular old fashioned.
They also do a bartending. There's like bartending schools for like $200.
I mean, I've heard about those, and a lot of people say it's kind of like it's not scam. Like they'll teach you things, but they say just go and jump into it.
Well, I mean, you can do both,
yeah,
right? But
yeah.
if you want to just get the basics down,
yeah,
I think it'd be a good idea. I mean, $200. I mean, we spend $200 on fucking whatever, dude.
Yeah.
You know, on other shit.
Because that's one of the things I was looking at. That's one of the main
and you
things.
get certified, right?
I mean, yeah, but it doesn't mean anything now.
Well, I mean, like let's say that I wanted to go into your restaurant and be a bartender. You would look at me like, "Well, are you certified?" I'm like, "Well, yeah, I just got certified."
No, people actually don't do that.
They don't do that?
No, they ask you questions, or they'll ask you to make a drink and see if you can do it. And then they'll ask you, like, what drink have you made up? Like, it's more or less making sure that you understand things. Like, if I were to ask you what Hennessy was, could you say, like, what it is?
Hennessy?
Yeah.
I think Hennessy is it a rum?
No.
No?
It's considered a cordial.
I don't know what the fuck a cordial is.
It's like, it's when it doesn't necessarily belong to a specific group of alcohol.
So it's just like a
So
bunch
it's like
of shit
it's
together?
almost like a dessert alcohol. It's not a bunch of stuff together. It's just not made in a traditional way.
So
So,
where
like,
does it come from though?
see, I don't have all those answers,
Bro,
but that's my point. Like,
let's see. Let's ask Google.
when I went to, huh?
Hey Google, what is Hennessy?
According to Wikipedia, Jas Hennessy & Co., commonly known simply as Hennessy, is a French brandy distiller with its headquarters located in Cognac, France.
Cognac.
Jas Hennessy & Co. sells about 50 million bottles a year worldwide, or more than 40% of the
Hey,
world's
Google.
cognac.
What is Hennessy made out of?
On the website Quora.com, they say, so in summary, the Cognac Hennessy is made from multiple aged twice distilled, Uni Blanc grape wine purchased on the open market after one of the distillations that was cultivated in the Aquitaine Limousin Poitou-Charentes region in the specific department of Charentes.
Yeah, so it's like it's not a traditionally made alcohol. It's kind of like its
That's
own like sub.
That's what cognac is?
Yeah, it's like saying a lion and a cat are both cats, but like if I were to just walk up to you and be like, I just saw a cat right now, you would assume a little cat walking around, not that I just saw a lion. It's kind of that same concept where it's technically part of brandy, but there's another subset of it.
Okay.
So like if you ask for like a brandy and Coke, you're not gonna get Hennessy and Coke most likely. I mean,
Got
you
it.
might.
I mean,
I could be wrong too.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I'm
Yeah,
pretty
I
sure
don't know.
because it's like a substance.
That's
It's
interesting.
under the
cognac.
yeah. It's under the
But
concept of,
twice
like,
distilled wine? The fuck does that mean? You know?
It's because wine is barreled and
But
and
so is-
sits there
but
to
so-
ferment.
But
Where the Hennessy would be barreled, fermented, and then distilled. Because distilling is a process. Like, I don't know exactly what they do, but it's like a machine process. So it's first made like wine and then made into an alcohol.
Huh.
Is what
Well,
I
that's
took from that.
interesting. I never, you hear all these names like, like cognac, like whiskey, Scotch whiskey, and then like
Well, a lot
I never
of those
really
things,
realized. I never really like
like
when
Scotch whiskey. Do you know what that? You don't know what that means? Like that, I actually know what it like.
okay,
It literally just means that it's whiskey made in Scotland.
so
It's just like champagne. The only way you can call it champagne is if it's made in Champagne in France.
Mm-hmm.
So outside of that, it's still the same thing as what is it called? I think it's called just sparkling wine. So if it's not made in Champagne, it has to be called sparkling wine.
so it's like
There's another name. It
it's
might not be
it's not a
sparkling
trademark,
wine.
but it's like a
Essentially, it's a trademark. Yeah,
Yeah, right?
It's pretty much essentially that.
yeah. Okay.
So it's the same thing
Interesting.
with what is it? I think there's a beer type too that you can only name it.
Coors Light.
Dude, okay. I had Miller Lite last night.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever had Miller Lite before, and I actually think it's the best of the light beers.
It's Miller time, bro.
I don't know if it's my white trash talking or but no, out of all the
It's
light
your
beers I've
fucking-
had, I don't know. I think it's because there was more water content and I was super thirsty last night. But I had one and I drank. I was like, dang.
Dude, the trailer-
I wasn't like, this is good.
Bro, the trailer
But-
park is coming out, bro.
but like it was refreshing enough. Like I wanted something like water, but I didn't want to get up and I had a sip and I was like, damn, this is pretty close to
Oh,
water.
that's funny, dude.
Because it didn't have that like bitterness afterwards of beer.
Yeah.
So
I don't think I've ever tried Miller Lite.
yeah, 'cause
That's
it's
like,
just
I mean that they
you
were
just see
very.
white trash people get it, so you're just like, nah.
I'm not. I mean, I don't care, dude. Yesterday I had Coors.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a Coors. After the fight, dude. That Conor McGregor Cerrone fight, man.
I don't know. I like the other one. What was his name? O'Day? Where he started on the ground. Did you see that?
No.
He started on the ground on his hands and feet, and he like crawled over like a monkey would like crawl and jump. He got like halfway to the octagon and just leaped in the air and punched the guy straight in the face. And the guy didn't know what happened. He was just like, "What?" But then, but then freaking O'Day got what was it? I think he was put in a guillotine and lost. I was so mad. I was like, that guy deserved the win from the start.
Yeah, I think I did see that one. Yeah.
I don't think. I think it was the last of the prelim. Yeah. I think.
Yeah, I think I might have seen it.
Or it was the first of the main matches.
Congrats to the notorious Conor McGregor, man. He went in there, and I think that everyone saw the same Conor, as back in his prime. Well, I guess this is his prime now. He's only 31. I think he's at his prime.
I don't know, because was there a reason why he stopped? I don't follow it enough.
Well, he had 2 kids.
Wasn't there a lot of like issues outside of the UFC too? Like, wasn't he getting in fights and like he was in court cases?
He was partying, and that's why. That's his reason of why, as to why he lost against Khabib, is because he wasn't prepared. Because he was partying all the time. And he says like, "Look, man, I'm a self-made millionaire. Literally 11 fights, he's already like multi-millionaire. This last fight with Cerrone, he made $80 million.
That's one of the things that I get confused about. Like, there's this guy that I work with who does I guess you call it graffiti. So like he likes to do all the graffiti kind of art.
You work with him?
Yeah, and he's
bro.
Well, I don't know if he's that good.
Interested?
I haven't seen a lot of his work. I've only seen like little scribbles, but like he doesn't work. He's not like a hard worker. But like sometimes people just have a skill that they like. They may not like. It doesn't seem like it can amount to anything. Like if you fought in school, you'd get in trouble. You get kicked out. You feel like you can't do anything, but you're really good at fighting. Like, it's that concept. Do you think he went into fighting thinking that he was going to make riches, or he just enjoyed it?
No, he just enjoyed it.
And see, that's one of the things that I've been thinking about. There's nothing out there that I super enjoy that I do, like, every single day that I feel like I get better at. And I think that's one of the mistakes that we all make in life.
Yeah, that's certainly one of them. But see, that's the way that I guess I wouldn't even say that I found my calling, but I've found a path that will take me close to it. And that's, again, like we talked about it last podcast, it's, putting in the work now in what I'm doing to set myself up for creative freedom later. Once I have acquired more experience in life, once I have tried like a few different things, I want to have that freedom to do that. Some people don't have that luxury. You get married, you have kids, and you got a mortgage, and that's it, dude. Like, that's literally it. And then you're planning for retirement. I don't want to go that traditional route. I want to be, in my 40s and have the ability to think outside of what I'm doing. So I don't want to be attached to anything, but obviously I have to set my family up for, stability, and then have the time for me to move on to other projects, because that's really what I enjoy. I think I enjoy new projects more than the projects, but and this is where the topic of today comes in, dude. When I was a kid, in elementary school, they asked you to write down like your bio, right? When we first got in, and I was like, "Hi, my name is Marco. Blah blah blah. I like this. I like that." And then they're asking you, "Oh, like put what university you want to go to, and then put what you want to do in your life." And I put like a pilot. So I've always had these like big aspirations and like I guess dreams. Um, and I think that living in the first world, it you're kind of entitled to that. Like you can aspire to be anything. Like everyone tells you, you can do anything. You can become whoever you want.
Yeah, because you see
And
things around you.
yeah, but see, it's not as easy as just you can become anything. You can become anyone. There's a certain process that you need to uh, you need to enlist on. You have to go to school. You have to be the whatever the career it is. There's a process for you to achieve that goal. And here, I feel like we have the how can I explain it? It's like we have like the ability to aspire to be anyone and to have big dreams without the knowledge of knowing really what it takes. Like if someone says, Greg, like you can do anything in life. What do you want to do? Well, you're like, well, I want to be an astronaut. Oh, cool. Like they'll support you, they'll back you up, but they don't. There's a big process behind that. Like it's not as easy as one, two, three.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have like 20/20 vision. You have to be at the top of the Navy. You have to be an elite person basically to be able to get to that. I guess what I'm saying is, um, things are just thrown out there, and we don't give it the value that things deserve.
Yeah.
So it's easy to say I want to become that, I want to become this, without even knowing what it takes to get there.
Yeah.
And so
there's some things too that like the realism of certain things. Like there's certain things you have to be born for. Like the concept you just said, you gotta have 20/20 vision. You gotta be physically and mentally fit kind of thing. Some people are just not born with 20/20, so there's no way to aspire to be something that requires something. Or like what is it called when people can like disconnect their body and fit into tiny spaces?
Yeah. I don't know, double jointed.
No, there's a ambidextrous. No, ambidextrous is right.
It's using both. Yeah, both hands.
I forget the name, but it's like when they can like just move their body around. Like you can't just learn that. Like yes, you have to learn how to do it, but your body has to physically be able to do that. Like not everyone's body can just do it.
Right.
So like there's things like that, but like when it takes more or less like to be a doctor, sure, anyone could be a doctor because it's just learning and retaining information.
But see, even that.
But it takes the time.
Anyone is not even close.
Well, there's different levels of doctor. Like if you're just like a regular like checkup doctor, all you have to do is retain information for the most part. Like, but to be a brain surgeon, it's different. You actually have to be skilled at it. You can't just learn everything and be like and have non-steady hands. Like you can have a brain surgeon who got Parkinson's. He could no longer be a brain surgeon. Yes, he has the information, but you can't do it if you're shaking. Like,
yeah,
things like that.
Yeah, I feel like even in that sense of what you're talking about, I feel like there's even a disconnect and between some people that they don't understand that not just anyone can do anything. It's like there's only one Conor McGregor, and like you were saying, there's not that many Conor McGregors. You see what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean when you go at the same time, Conor McGregor was not always a fighter. So at a certain point in his life, he was a fighter. He just wasn't necessarily considered one of the better ones. So he trained harder. He learned more. He continued on, and he got better than the people around him. So it was feasible in that sense. But like, I don't know where I was gonna go. I was gonna say, if like down the road somewhere, he had lost his arm, he would have never been the Conor McGregor that we're thinking of right now.
I know, but
so there would have been a replacement for that. So like it's like Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee's dead. So who's gonna take over after Bruce Lee?
I don't think anyone took over after Bruce Lee.
Not yet. There will be someone one day. It's
Well,
just like
you know what?
Usain Bolt. Usain Bolt is still considered the fastest man alive, but like, what's gonna happen then? Or like, what was that one biker's name?
Neil
I always
Armstrong?
is it Neil Armstrong? Is he the one who wins the space?
I think it's.
I always
I
make the
don't know. It's
mistake.
Armstrong, whatever. The guy
But
that
the
lost his
biker.
testicles.
Yeah, he was considered the best one, and then we found out he was blood duping and cheating. So
Well,
like,
I mean, the thing
I know
is,
that those are different concepts.
no, but the reason why I think it came back positive was because you need to be
Sorry.
supplementing with something if you don't have your testicles. Like, you have to be injecting testosterone into your body in order for you to.
I think that was post all that though.
Well, I mean, I don't know
But
all the
still,
details
it's
to it.
not legal. So if
Yeah.
he lost his testicles and he couldn't produce the testosterone he needed, then he just couldn't compete. It's the same concept. Like if Conor McGregor lost his arm, he wouldn't be out there fighting in MMA.
I mean, maybe he would.
At the
Dude.
same level? No way.
Maybe he would.
No way,
Who
dude.
knows?
Anyone at a top level in a fighting thing like that with one arm down, you're gone, dude.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because you can't defend one side. Like you'd have to be going like this.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe you just take it to the ground, but
I mean, I don't know.
that'd be interesting. Because no, there's a football player actually, in professional football. I think only has one arm.
Yeah, and see, the people that we're talking about now, they're outliers.
Even
There's not
in-
many.
I think professional baseball had a one-armed guy once too. But I mean, if you think about some of that stuff though, it's feasible. Like in baseball, do you have to have like two arms? I mean, maybe no, not really.
Depends. I mean, if you're the catcher now, like
I think he was a second baseman. So like, what he would do is he would catch the ball, he would flip the mitt because I think he was missing from his elbow. So he would flip the mitt into the arm part, get the ball with his hand, and then throw it. So he got really quick with that, and that's how he would be able to play. So like, yeah, there's times where you can get better at certain things, but it's just so
well,
interesting.
the moral of the story is that there's so much that goes into becoming the best at something, or achieving, getting the career that you want. That that in itself is undervalued. Like there's not a lot of value to it. We just throw it around like it has no value.
Yeah. You got to figure it out your own way.
Yeah, and I guess that's kind of annoying that that people tell you that, like, oh yeah, you can do anything you like. The thing is that it's once you do it, it's kind of true that you can do anything that you want. I mean, dude, it's just like I feel like it's almost like a paradox. Like when you can do it, you can do it, you put in the work, you do it. But when you don't know, it's an uphill battle that you have to fight every day.
Yeah.
Sometimes people give up too soon, and so anyway, so back to Conor McGregor beating Cerrone. You were saying that, well, before the podcast, you were like, that's it was like meh, like whatever,
Yeah.
right?
I think it was the second boringest fight of the whole night.
I think that fight saved the whole card. Because that's what people want. People want the best of the best out. I mean, Cerrone is not like a boring or a. You can't undermine him, dude. He's veteran. He's fought so many times. He's fought more times than Conor McGregor in the last year.
Well, that's fine, but just because they're good fighters and someone won quick, then means that the guy did something right. Doesn't mean that it was because we're watching it to enjoy, to see a fight, but like I wouldn't really consider that a fight. Like if you go to
What
a
do you
bar
mean?
and someone punches you in the face and you get knocked out, were you in a fight? Or
Yeah.
did you just get knocked out? Like
It's a fight.
come on.
That's a fight. You
like,
can't. But
like
look,
you're,
dude,
but see, it's entertainment on that kind of a stage. It's
yes,
that
but
becomes
he
entertainment, and that
outclassed
wasn't.
him.
But that wasn't entertainment.
Of course it was.
No, like I
Or
was
maybe
looking,
not
because
to
they
you
showed
because-
the statistics of Conor McGregor's fastest fights, and he knocked
Okay.
someone out in 13 seconds.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, so what? He just walked to the middle of the octagon, walked around in a circle for 5 seconds, and then punched the guy in the face, and it was over.
Yeah.
And like, how much is pay-per-view?
Like $65.
$65. You pay $65 just to see someone get punched in the face, and over. Like
You're looking.
that's what I'm saying. It wasn't entertainment.
I know, but you're looking at masters of their craft. You're looking at a guy who literally walked into the octagon and outclassed someone who's not supposed to be outclassed. That's where the entertainment is. Like, it's. I mean, come on. Like, you're gonna walk in an octagon and you're gonna think that you're gonna knock someone out in 13 seconds.
Well, no, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that he was bad. I'm just saying it wasn't entertaining. Like,
What
what
would you want to see? Like them beat
How
themselves
long
up?
was the whole pay-per-view? Like 2-3 hours?
It's usually like 4 hours.
So you watched all the fights for the one you wanted. So you watched 3 hours and 50 minutes.
Well, there were
To
other
watch,
fights. There were other
like,
fights that
to
I
watch
wanted to watch.
What was it? 45-second fight that like just ended. Like that's my point. Like if they're at the top, like come on, you gotta have more than that.
No, man.
Like I'm not saying that they're bad. I'm not saying the second guy is hot garbage. Like I've seen him fight. And he did the same thing to other people.
Yeah, but you're looking at it like WWE. Like they're not there to Yeah, they're there to entertain you, but by showing you the type of martial artists that they are, and what class they belong to. Like Conor McGregor went up weight, right?
Mhm.
He fought 135, 145, and then 170. He's literally moved through 3 divisions, and he's still the same guy. He's still knocking them out like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's like a world class fighter. You can't compare him to the Undertaker. That's gonna take 5 minutes just to punch you, walk around the ring, and then come back and grab you.
Well, okay.
You know what I mean?
The reasoning too behind why I said it wasn't very entertaining is because I don't know if you noticed it. I noticed it right away. The Cowboy, when he came in, it went from like the commentators talking to showing him coming out of the the locker room. I don't know what they call it in the UFC. To showing him coming out of the locker room to his music playing and just like normal lighting. But then when Conor McGregor started, they panned out to show the whole stadium. The lights turned off. When it came back up, the whole stage was the Ireland flag. His music came on for a couple minutes before he even came out. There was lights going everywhere. Like it felt like the UFC gave him so much more. Like showed him off. Like this is your winner already. But like, why aren't they doing that for the other guy?
They did. You didn't notice it. They had red, white, and blue.
They didn't show it though.
No, they had red, white, and blue.
No, yeah, they had colors, but like it was not a spectacle. And I was like, why?
Because this guy is the biggest UFC jaw in the world.
No, but like
that's
you still want to like I was very surprised about the prelims. Like it was just they were in the ring. Like there was no show about it.
Well, everyone came up with their music. Maybe they didn't show it.
Well, yeah, that's my point though.
Yeah.
Is that if you're not there, you don't see any. Like it's almost not as exciting the whole process. Like they're not telling a story or anything.
Because they don't draw that many people, because they're just beginning. They're like they're
Sure.
they're not the biggest draw.
Sure, but I mean you can say the same thing about anything. Like,
but you can't say that about McGregor.
It's just like dinner.
No,
like
no, but hey, no, I don't want to.
Do you think your appetizer is gonna come out not looking appetizing because your main course is what you want? No, the whole process needs to be good.
There are fights in the prelims that I wanted to watch. Right?
No, I'm not saying that you didn't watch it. That they just didn't make it as exciting. It wasn't like it just seemed like there wasn't. It would be like
an 8-hour show if everyone comes out the same way and as entertaining. Maybe all they can do is 4 hours.
No, like it takes them like 2 minutes to walk out. Not even that, because they walk out.
They have the reasoning why they don't do it. Maybe.
I'm just saying it's not.
If you looked at the prelim, I know, but if you looked at the prelims, you saw the first people fighting. There weren't that many people in the stands. No. So why waste the resources to do that?
Because it's for the people on TV to watch.
No, man, it's for both. There were 20,000 people that attended that place.
Yeah, but it's the same. If you don't make it entertaining, that's why people don't go.
Okay.
It's just like this.
So you're arguing. I know, but you're arguing a point where that you're like, well, it's for people that are watching on TV. Whether or not they make it entertaining, people are watching it. So maybe they're cutting costs. It doesn't matter for all these other up and coming people to give them the grand spectacle if people are still buying pay-per-view just to watch Conor McGregor.
Well, yeah, sure, they already bought it.
Right. So it doesn't... Why make it entertaining if people are still buying it?
Because they're still going to make money off of the advertisements. So if people aren't watching the advertisements in the beginning part, they're not gonna be making as much money.
What advertisements are you talking about?
It was like even in the middle of some of the fights. Like I think even in the middle of the Conor McGregor fight, they had a commercial for the Gentleman movie. And they just like they were commentating on the fight, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere, they're just like, "The Gentleman coming out in theaters now."
Okay,
blah, 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 blah.
Why?
And I was just like,
do they do that?
What
they
the
do
heck?
that because now they have your attention because Conor McGregor's out.
No, they did it for all the fights.
For what? For
the prelims,
even
yeah.
the prelims?
And I was like, this is weird. Like I understood like during like shows and stuff, they'll put like on the bottom right, like something will come up like The Simpsons and like new episode on Saturday, but they don't talk over the show. It was like that. I was like, the fights.
They're getting
the fights
paid,
are,
bro. They're
getting.
getting.
Each one is 3 minutes. I know, but it's just weird.
Well, not
it's like
really.
we accept things like that, but like let's just say.
Okay, let me put that into perspective. You said we accept things like that. We are literally accepting that people going into an octagon and fight for their life.
Yeah, because conflict is easier to talk about, and conflict is more...
Okay, so we accept that. So, accepting this little commercial, that's like whatever. That's like a cake. That's how people view it.
No, it seems, in the sense of thinking about it, it doesn't seem professional. It's like
ads?
If we were just talking right here, and all of a sudden, we just stop talking to advertise something.
Yeah, that's how people get money.
No, but like you do it in a sense. Like if you watch a lot of like YouTube things, they'll advertise at the very start and then go like commercial breaks.
Well,
you got your commercial break and then you go.
You can run it anyway. But there's still commercials
like,
during the videos.
Imagine watching the last episode of Game of Thrones and then all of a sudden you get to the most important part that you've been waiting for the whole season and they're about to say something and all of a sudden it goes to a Carl's Jr. commercial. For like 30 seconds, comes back, another like 2 minutes goes on, another Carl's Jr. commercial.
Okay, so
like,
that's HBO.
That's how I'm viewing it.
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about. Like,
yeah, but that's
just like, what the hell? Like, you couldn't have waited one more minute for that round to end to say it.
You mean they did it between rounds?
They did it like as the people were punching each other. Like you'd hear Joe Rogan be like, "Oh, he's going to try to go for a guillotine right now," and the Gentleman coming out in theaters. Like, what the hell?
Well, I don't know that they did that. I don't think they did that.
Because no one else was really like noticing. I was like, why are they advertising right here while they're like brawling on the floor?
It's called subliminal advertising.
Like, I know, it seems ridiculous. Like,
but you're like the only one that...
I know, but
see, it's not ridiculous.
People complain about things like that all the time. But then when it comes down to something that, like...
Look,
I'm
man,
just saying, I don't get where
I know,
why we don't complain about it.
Why would we need to complain about it?
Because people complain about things like that all the time.
Well, you're complaining about it.
It's like, imagine if your mom walked in the middle of the fight and started talking to you. You get so mad. But this guy interrupts and talks about the Gentleman movie that you may not even want to see. And you were just like, okay.
Right.
That's what I'm comparing it to, that kind of thing. Like,
I know, but you're disrupting. I know what you're saying.
The $65 show I'm watching to tell me about this movie. Shut up. It's like the person talking in the movie theater. That's literally how I view it. You didn't like. That's what I'm saying. People don't see it that way.
Look, man,
It's
they
so
have
funny.
to make money. One, right?
Dude, they made so much
I
money.
know,
They didn't get advertised
but-
in the middle of the fight.
Why do you think they made so much money? They had to pay Conor McGregor $80 million.
Yeah, and then Conor
Where do you
McGregor
think
probably
that-
gave him back half of that to advertise his proper 12 on
But
the
guess how
on the
many?
mat.
Yeah, but that's great investment.
But no, I know. I'm just saying. That's why it's not as crazy. Like they're not just giving money away. They make enough to give out this money.
But that's how they make it, by sponsorships, by ads.
Is that how much money he got paid for that one?
$80 million for 40 seconds.
Are you sure it was that much? 'Cause
Yeah.
I remember them showing that he was one.
He
I
made
think they're saying
$80
he's
million.
the top paid athlete, but they're not saying that it was only because of his athleticism that he was making that much money. Because he didn't fight last year, and he would made $99 million, I think.
Last
because
year?
because it was outside of fighting. They're just
Okay.
saying that he's the highest paid in
No,
general for
the
all
fight,
his ventures.
The fight yesterday was he got paid 80 mil in 40 seconds. That's how do the math, dude. What is it? 40 seconds?
Yeah, but see, you can't even just do that though. Like that's what confuses me. I'm gonna tie that back into food concepts too. So he gets paid for the 40 seconds you're saying, but he had to train to get there. So all this time that he spent to get there was his investment into making that much money.
Yeah.
So he's been fighting for 10 years. So it's that much into the 10 years. It's just like a chicken. Like we kill a chicken. How long does it take to get a chicken to
but
slaughter
every
age?
fight he gets paid. It's not just this fight.
No, I understand that. But that's because people are just saying like it took him 40 seconds to win that much money. No.
Well, he made
Because if he lost that
$80,000,
fight,
he probably would have made,
he wouldn't have
maybe
made
half.
yeah.
Yeah.
So now all that time investment for half. Like sure, $40 million.
That's
It still
how-
doesn't matter.
Yes,
you lose,
that's
you still
how
make
the
a ton
game
of money.
works. That's how the game works.
But see that
You're
like,
the best
it
of the
ties back
best.
to your concept of how you were saying that it's the uphill battle of not knowing if you're gonna make it or not. Sure, he already knows he made it because if he loses, he still gets $40 million, and that's still making it.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's more than just
beginning,
money.
you don't get that same like if you lose, it could be everything.
Yeah, but it's for him. It's not just about money, dude. It's about people calling him out, like, "Oh, old Conor McGregor's gone. Oh, he's not the same guy anymore." It was his pride. He went out there to show people that he's the best of the best.
Mm-hmm.
The $80 million. He's already a rich man. The $80 million. Yeah, it's a nice pay. It's a nice payday, but it's not the only reason why he went out there. You know.
Yeah.
And then, well, anyway, the moral of the story is that it didn't take him. You know, he didn't do it in one night. You know, he didn't do it in one day. It took him 31 years. He's a 31-year-old guy to get to that point, to be at that level, to go into the ring and outclass someone at his level. I mean, not at his level anymore, but they were, quote unquote, on the same level. He went in there, it took him whatever, 20 years of training to get to where he's at now, to reap the rewards at 31. And so it's something that actually I want to really focus on moving forward is I want to be that tortoise. I want to move slow, be focused on the goal, move slow, but, continue moving as opposed to, overseeing all the process and be like, I want to do that. I want to go and become, I want to go and make this $1 million company and get in it, hit a wall, and not be able to break through the wall and get stuck. And I just want to be able to lay brick by brick and move that way.
It's like because you say I haven't watched enough of the UFC. Yeah, I kept hearing a bunch of different numbers, like, oh, this person's only fought 10 times. This is this person's first fight.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, if you go in to fight people who are world class, but you haven't been fighting with world class people, you're probably gonna lose. Like, sure, you could come in and win. It's just a high chance, but why not train with those people until you consistently feel like you beat them, jump in, and become
why?
top
Because it
people.
doesn't work that way, dude. No one's gonna take you under their wing.
Well, no, you don't
It's
necessarily
like
have to train. Like, it's like what's his name?
well, there's a lot of variables, man. It's you have to put in the work. You have to be consistent. You have to be accountable. You have to be a good person, or else people don't want to work with you. You have to be trainable. There's so many things that, again, it's a see. You're overseeing. It's an oversight. Like, you're like, why don't they just do this? Because it's not that simple. Because if it was that simple, people would do that all the time. Like, McGregor was boxer first, although he never had any professional boxing fights. He used to box, and from there, he got into mixed martial arts, and then he climbed the ladder, and then he made himself marketable. He made himself someone who people got excited to go and see and pay $65 to watch his fights. He got himself to that point by the persona, by the person he became. When he is like a showman.
Yeah.
There's people out there who have been, Cowboy Cerrone. He was murdering people, just straight murdering people. He had 11 fights last year. That's crazy. And he doesn't make nearly as much as McGregor. Why? Because he's not out there marketing himself. He didn't create this persona. He didn't do what McGregor was able to do. McGregor brought the attention to the UFC.
Mm-hmm. So that's like what you just said right there. McGregor built himself up in many different ways and then exploded as one big thing.
Yeah, but it took 20 years,
Sure. And so that's tying that back to myself. Like I said, like I'm not the biggest in alcohol. I'm not good with like pairings. How I eat is very limited. So I need to be able to learn the things that I can't learn on my own, tie them back into the things that I like, and give it back to everyone. So it's building yourself up in many different ways and combining them together that I feel I have failed at completely.
Because we've had this conversation before. I feel like you're not as open to new experiences.
Mm-hmm.
And part of learning
by myself. Like I'll go. Like I would never go. Like how we talked about the distillery. I would never go do that by myself. I want to do it, but I would never do it by myself. So if I had people who were willing to do things like a winery, I want to go by myself.
And see, there's someone
but
out there.
But I would go with people.
There's someone out there who's Greg, he's got that edge on you.
Mm-hmm. That will do it by themselves and will learn it and do it quicker. Yeah.
So so that let's go back to the fighting. The Conor McGregor, he is that guy.
Yeah.
There's someone out there who's like, I can beat Conor McGregor. No, I can knock him out. Bro, just you don't know what you're talking about. And so, I mean, yeah, man, you just have to be more open. And actually, this year, I wanted to maybe do a few different things, and maybe bring them here. I want to start traveling a little more. I think I'm gonna get a roof rack, a roof tent for our Subaru, and just go out and tent somewhere, camp, and in hopes that all these experiences start shaping I'm gonna become. And I think that's the way to do it. You have to go out there and try new things, and break a few bones if you have to. You have to just get out there, man. And it's something that, and we were talking about it last week. And I asked you, are you comfortable? If we're comfortable all the time, then that's all we're ever gonna know. We're just gonna be stuck there.
Yeah, that's one of the things. Like, it's weird when I go to work, I could talk to people more. I'm still probably awkward about it, but it's one of the things that I was thinking about. How often does someone come to your front door that you don't know?
Never.
Exactly, right? So I was thinking about that at the restaurant. How often will someone come to our front door unless we invite them? Probably never. I mean, in a restaurant concept, you look it up online and you want to go try something.
Yeah.
Sure, it happens, but very minuscule. So I was like, that's what we're missing. We're not inviting anyone over.
Yeah.
We're not saying, hey, come hang out.
Yep.
So every single person I talk to, I invite them. I'm like, hey, have you been here for breakfast? Like if I'm working at night. Or if I'm working in the morning, hey, have you been here for dinner? If they say no, then I go and get them like a discount card. Say, hey, come in. I'm working this day. Come check us out. And that's something
you're doing the right things that the owners are missing.
I mean, they've tried to teach that over time, and it's the issue with reasonings. Like, you don't explain the concepts to people. It's like if you try to say, go talk to the girl, it's easy. Like, that doesn't explain what easy is. Like,
again,
I would have to.
It's undervalued. See,
Sure.
That's the same thing that I was referring to earlier. When we say you can become anything, well, no shit, you can, but you don't explain.
You don't know why.
Yeah, you don't understand how or what or
what do you mean anything? I can become a wall? Like what? Like
well,
yeah,
no,
I know. That's my point though. Is that when you ask a little kid that, they don't understand it.
Yeah, it's like,
you still don't even understand when someone says
you
that.
can go become a pilot. Oh, okay. Yeah, I want to become a pilot. Oh, what does it take? Oh, it takes 10,000 hours of flying.
It probably takes a bunch of money. Okay, so now what?
Okay.
Oh, I have to go work at a restaurant, or I have to go work at Target to do that? Nah.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to do that extra process to get you there. It's just like how we talked about earlier about spending the $200 on bartending. I'm like, nah, I don't want to spend the money. I'll just do it here at the restaurant. But now I'm trying to teach myself, and how am I supposed to teach myself if I don't know about it?
Yeah. So, see, and it's a $200 investment. You go in there, you will at least come out with basics. Mm-hmm. And you can probably train people on it. Yeah. Like, okay, they're gonna be like, oh, why do we have to pour 3 ounces of lime juice? Oh, because of this, and this is the way it's done. Yeah. Why? And then you have the why. As opposed to like, no, just do it. It's on the book. You just got to do it.
That's the recipe. Okay. But why is it the recipe? If we put in 1 ounce more, it dilutes it this much more, which makes it taste this way.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Dude, I think that explaining things to people is it's super underrated.
Yeah. Because a lot of the stuff we want. So it's just like an In-N-Out burger. We want to go in and we want to get the burger. We don't want to hear what all that's on it. It tastes so good. Obviously, not going to tell us how they make it or anything. But like, if you wanted to learn how to make the best burger, you'd probably go and ask them, hey, can you inform me on how you make your burger and why you do it this way or that way? And then you could make that burger.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because no one else is making that burger.
Yeah. I think understanding in our modern life, understanding is underrated. Mm-hmm. It's something that I've had to learn some things that were never taught to me. And people always said, oh, it's the tortoise and the hare. You read this book, it's a children's book, The Tortoise and the Hare. And actually, why don't we explain it? You understood it from the get-go?
Yeah.
But did you apply it to your life?
No. Well,
okay. So you didn't understand it?
Sometimes.
No, you just...
Like, when you would walk somewhere, you'd be like, no, the tortoise always wins. I'm walking slower.
That's not understanding. You just used it as a...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I I mean, it wasn't. I
But
did
do you
not
know what I
understand
mean?
it. I just didn't care.
Yeah,
Like it comes back to the concept of not caring and not learning it, because you don't always want to learn something.
you know what? I feel like people are made to learn things. If you didn't want to learn anything, why do you want to learn? No, I'm not just you, but people in general. You have a phone. You have to learn how to use it. People are on their phone all the time.
Well, yeah, it's
They
like
just
my son. He doesn't use my phone. Like he has his own phone. Not it doesn't like call. It's just essentially it's a tablet.
like Wi-Fi or
So
whatever.
he'll watch like a video or something on it, and he knows how to use that one. But he doesn't know my phone necessarily. Like every time I give him mine, I already have it all set up. So like he doesn't have to search for what he wants.
Yeah.
And the other night he turned my phone on. And he clicked a few buttons to find what he wanted to do, and I was like, "How the heck did he know where to go?" So he's learned it without having like, I don't think he ever thought about it.
Yep. I mean, I'm telling you, man. People that say that they don't want to learn things, it's just an excuse because you're learning you're learning something new every day.
Yeah, and some things can actually help with other things that don't even make sense. Like I don't know, how do you like? I can tie it back into the whole drink concept. Like aromas and everything can change the effect of the drink that you're sipping. So let's say that you have in the bathroom you have scented hand soap, and all the people are coming in and using this super strong scented flower soap. Now they're drinking your drink, and a lot of time before you drink, you usually will take a breath of air. So you'll smell that soap, take a drink, and now it's not going to taste the same because you're smelling that soap.
That's right.
So learning that and being like, okay, I need to change that soap in the bathroom because it's affecting
even just
food
understanding that your two senses are connected. The reason why people put limes on water is it doesn't mean that they added lime in the water. It just makes you think. It makes you feel like it's fresh by smelling the lime when you're drinking water. It changes the game. It changes how well obviously your smell and your taste go hand in hand. That's why people when if you don't like medicine or something, you plug your nose, you take the medicine, it doesn't taste as bad.
Well, it's like with soap. Like when you use soap and you get all the bubbles don't mean anything. They literally have no effect on anything. So
it's like a
without
visual
having
aid.
a visual or a scent or anything
You
like that, you don't think
it's funny because Febreze, that's how they made their
I read that
brand
book.
name marketable.
Yeah.
It was they created something that eliminated odor, and they thought that they were on it. That this is it. This is the game changer. Yeah, it was a great product. It eliminates odor, and it didn't disinfect, but it eliminated odor completely. But people couldn't smell anything, so they didn't know it was different. And something about in regards to our senses, when it comes to smell, we have we smell changes we smell the change. We don't smell like right now. Well, let's say if you're like smoking cigarettes or you're drinking coffee, you get used to that scent, right? And then it becomes like dormant. You don't really smell it anymore, right? That's why people who live in the Midwest with the cow farms, all the manure. If you drive through there, you've never been there before. Oh, it's pungent. You're like, what the heck's going on? But if you live there, you get used to that smell. And so people were, they didn't see any difference in smell. So they're like, oh, well, this thing doesn't work. So Febreze, with a pair of some engineers, they came up with the scented Febreze. And when you sprayed that, it was like a trigger. Your mind recognized that something was different. And
they made it pleasant.
Yeah, they made it pleasant. Now, it was like Like you got like a hit of endorphins.
So let's spray our life with Febreze.
Let's spray.
Shoot.
What do you No, we just see they had a big problem. They figured it out, but it took steps. They weren't, if they would have gone from, let's take Febreze for example, when they created the odor eliminating spray, if they would have just hit that wall and be like, well, we made the best thing out there, people aren't buying it, but no, they retracted. They're like, this isn't working. We got to go a different route. Let's take it to another step. And step by step, and little by little, they came up with this wonderful idea,
Mm-hmm.
And then they're a freaking $1 billion company now. So, anyway, the moral of the story is take things slow, understand things, don't try to rush through things. It's something that I'm going to be applying to my life from now on. It's a lesson that I should have learned a long time ago that I never did. But now I understand the lesson. I always heard the story. I never understood the story and as to why it was important. So
Be that kid who says why.
yeah, just
Maybe that's
question
one of the
everything.
things, man.
Question
Kid-
everything.
Every kid asks why, and sure we think it's annoying, but do they actually like passively know that they're supposed to do that? Because they're actually trying to understand.
They're trying to understand. They're trying to
And
make
then
sense
over
of the
time,
world.
we just like stop asking why because we've been told stop asking why.
And also, our
sh-
phone, our phone kind of hinders us, huh? Because now we're like,
Sure, because
Google,
you get a basic information of it.
yeah,
So it's like, who ran the fastest mile? Okay, cool. We know who ran the fastest mile, but we didn't ask how did they train to run the fastest mile.
yeah.
So we stop at the simplest question. But we'll read this.
So
What are these called?
So this is Heart of Buddha. It's I think it's just how can I explain
These are
it?
haikus,
This is
too.
not haiku. This is like just excerpts of what like Buddha quotes. So today, to end this good podcast today, we have a little excerpt from Heart of Buddha. Okay, here we go. Even if everyone else is not doing good, I alone will. Even if everyone else is doing wrong, I alone will not. So, let us know what you think about that.
Dude, that's huge.
If you guys have any comments, any suggestions as to what else we should add to this podcast, let us know. We're trying to move into a different direction where we're more interactive with the audience, because it's not just about us sitting here and trying to entertain you guys. We want to sit here, learn from each other, and maybe learn from you guys, and then we hope that you guys get the same thing from us. We're all on the same ship trying to figure out this world, and might as well.
Some people know more.
Yeah,
Than others,
might
so.
as well, try to learn together. So, anyway, thank you for joining us today. We will see you guys